Hey, aren't you Eddie Kranepool, the former star of the New York Mets? I'm your biggest fan. I'm sorry you were mistaken. Get lost. Eddie, I knew it was you the minute I saw you bend over to pick up your sports bag and you kicked it across the floor. It's you, Eddie Kranepool, my favorite Met of all time except for Mookie, of course. Mookie is everybody's favorite. But you're my second favorite after Mookie. And also after Edgardo Alfonso. And after Tom Seaver and Tug and Jerry Koosman. But you're my favorite of the early 60s Mets except for Choo Choo Coleman and Joe Christopher and Al Jackson and Jim Hickman and Jesse Gonder. But you're my favorite 69 Met. Except for Ron Swoboda and Cleon Jones and Tommy Agee and Gil Hodges and the aforementioned Tom and Jerry. But you're my favorite Met first baseman of all time except for Keith Hernandez and Don Clendenon and John Olerud and John Milner. But I like you better than Todd Zeile. That's saying something. And you're my favorite pinch hitter ever. Except for Rusty Staubin, you got the wrong guy. Take a hike, kid. Eddie, I know everything about you. My grandfather told me all about when he was a little boy and you were just a teenage phenom, out of James Monroe High School in the Bronx, and everybody thought you'd be the first grade homegrown Met player. That being said, you never amounted to much at all, but still you were my favorite player ever. My parents gave me an Eddie Kranepool mitt and I dropped everything hit to me. Having said that, can I have your autograph, Eddie? Piss off. Make it out to Matt. That's M-A-T-T. Leave me alone or I'll punch you. At least I think it's M-A-T-T. I'm not great at spelling. I'm going to kick you in the balls if you don't get away from me. Eddie, you should be nice to me because I have a lot of followers who are Mets fans, and if I tell them that you were mean to me they will hate you. That being said, I think we can be friends. Just make the autograph out to Matt. I don't really care if you spell it wrong. Spelling and grammar are not important to me. How many times do I have to tell you, I'm not who you think I am? Are you saying you are not Eddie Kranepool, former Met? I am Eddie Kranepool, but I am no longer a former Met. How can you no longer be a former Met? Easy. I'm not. The Mets stink, and I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them sucking. I am not a former Met anymore. I am a former Cub. You cannot be a former Cub, Eddie. Oh yeah. Watch me. The folks in Chicago love me. You never even played for the Chicago Cubs. And that's why they love me. Eddie, you played for the Mets for 17 years. You cannot change history. I already did. My nephew hacked the Major League website and changed the records. I played 20 years for the Chicago Cubs and then I spent 2 years with the Los Angeles Dodgers, during which time I dated Cher Bono. You never dated Cher, Eddie. Oh yes I did. You can look it up. You will also be interested to know that as a Cub, I was a much better player. I hit .295 with 456 home runs. Last year I just missed being voted into the Hall of Fame by only 3 votes. Those bastards. It was Murray Chass who didn't vote for me. Eddie, if you could doctor the records and change the Hall of Fame voting results, why didn't you give yourself enough votes to get in? People might get suspicious. Eddie, why would you change teams when so many Mets fans love you? The Mets fans are losers. They root for a losing team. I am not a loser, Eddie. I am a proud Met fan. You are a hopeless loser who has me for his favorite player. That's pathetic. What about that autograph, Eddie? If I give you my autograph, will you bug off? Yes. I promise. Okay. Get out a pen. I will tell you what to write and then I will sign it. Okay, Eddie, thanks. To Mac. You are a pathetic loser. Screw off. Signed, Eddie. Eddie, it's not Mac with a K. It's Matt. As in doormat. Or automat. Or laundromat. You know what? Forget it. I'll change my name to Mac. Thanks, Eddie. I will never forget you.